Alright guys, let's get back on this. I got the boot for the carb going to the head. Let's throw that on right now and put the winch back on and just basically get this thing wrapped up. All right, here's the boot, and I don't know, it doesn't look bad. All right, I'm going to use the factory clamps, the 2 clamps that came with it, just band clamps, and they're kind of not well made. So we're not going to use them. We're going to use the factory style clamps. I'm going to install this now. All right, we're all back together. I didn't put this back on, and I probably should have. Oh no. I didn't put this back on because I might have to take the tank off again. I don't know. So I'm gonna try to start it. Let's see if we can get a good idle out of this thing now. I'm gonna turn the gas on, fill the bowl, turn the key on, turn the choke on. I think the choke might be too low. Not the choke. I don't might be too low. Turn the idle up a little bit. Well, I think the idle's still too low. That sounds good. I think what I'm going to do is, to start with this, is I'm going to cut these off. They don't serve a purpose. They're not going to connect to anything. So if I cut them off and then I weld the plug on there and make this smooth, I might be able to reuse the bars on the other half of it to mount this on there a little tighter. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut these off. All right, let's work on this. I was going to cut this thing all up, fabricate it, make it stronger. I just don't think this warrants it. I am going to reinstall that. So everything looks pretty solid. I mean, I know it's bent. Looks like they put maybe the hook on there and then pulled the winch and bent it down, but you can't see it behind that bumper, so I'm not gonna do anything with it. I do need to fix this though. On both sides, it's rotted out. So you can see the lines I scribed. I'm gonna cut them off, and then I'm gonna weld in some of this angle iron so I can reconnect it to the frame, and then maybe put a coat of paint on everything and slap it back on. I think instead of it being silver, I may paint it black. Or I may not even paint it, I don't know, we'll see. That's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna take it off and I'm gonna zip those off. All right, I cut the ends off, as you can see, cleaned them up a little bit. And I made these two plugs, and I'm gonna plug these up so that I have something to weld the angle iron to. So I am going to plug those up now. It's like, not super thick, but it'll be good enough. Put those on there. And we'll grind them, make them look a little better. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, I plugged them up. You see they look good. It's just sheet metal. If this thing takes a big hit, it's gonna tear, but it'll keep water and dirt out, and it'll give me something to weld the angle iron to. So we're not looking to make a crash bar here that's gonna, you know, withstand anything. Just I wanna get the rust out and make it so it's not gonna fall off. All right, so this is the piece I made up, and it's just a piece of angle iron, as you can see. I took a pie cut out of here so I could slightly bend it to get the right angle. You guys can see that there. And then I welded it. And I put a hole in there. And then we're just gonna butt weld it up. I can show you on here. We're gonna butt weld it right up in here. So now I gotta make one of these for this side. All right, that's what I got. So I think this will be fine. And as you guys can see, that's how we're gonna weld them in. So I got them on both sides, and I think that's gonna be perfectly fine for what we're doing. I'm going to tack them in. I'm gonna take the whole bar off, and then I'm gonna buzz them in on the bench real good. So I am going to do that right. Okay, it's all buzzed in. You can see that those are not going to come off of there. Plenty of penetration. Up and under. Same as under here. Looks good. Now, this is the bumper. And you can see I cut the overhanging pipes off. And now I'm just going to bolt it back on there. I was going to fabricate it, but I think that I'm just going to bolt it back on. So I'm going to do that now. Got the winch back in, and what I'm going to do right now is cut the extra overhang. There's quite a bit of overhang on this thing. Cut that off with the zip wheel. All right, next up, I'm going to put a proper cotter pin in here, not this coat hanger. All right, all set. All right, it's all set. The winch is in. All the skid plates are on. You guys can see. I just got it hooked up there. I had this left over from one of my other winch jobs, so I threw that on there. And that's pretty much it. I think there's a couple other things I need to do. I am going to come up here, and I think I'm going to pull this light off right now because it's got dangling wires and it looks terrible. So I'm going to pull that off, and then I think that's it. We're going to pull this thing outside. All right, it's all done. I just took it for a ride around the backyard. Put the trailer on it, did a little yard work. It's still clunking in the rear end. All right, guys, I drove it around for a little while. I'm kind of breaking. This is like actually in the future, and we're gonna go back to the present. That didn't make sense. Anyways, this is in the future. I already finished recording this video, and I drove the ATV around for a while, and it was just clanking in the back on the rear end, the rear diff area, really, really bad. I couldn't figure out what it was. I took the shocks out, I dropped the suspension down, and the clanking stopped. So what I did was, I pulled both of the brand new CV axles out, and I put the original ones back in, the rusty ones. I put them back in. They still work fine. One of them has a torn boot, and the other one is perfectly fine. They're rusty. I drove it around, not an issue at all. No more clanking. point of why I added this into the video is those are Chinese axles and they're garbage. Don't buy Chinese. Learn from my mistake. Buy the factory ones from the manufacturer. If you're going to do a rear end on one of these, make sure you get Yamaha drive axles. Don't get cheap Chinese knockoffs because they're garbage. They're just no good. All right, back to the program. But it came out pretty nice. All the welding's done. It looks good. Tell you what, the thing's got a lot of power. I like it. It's smooth. The 660 is a pretty nice Grizzly. As you guys can see over there, I got a 350, and it really doesn't have a lot of power. It's good enough for what I use it for. I don't know if you guys remember, but if you want to go back in the history, you'll see that I did a Autocat 650H side by side, and it's coming back. I sold it to a friend of mine, and it needs, I replaced one drive axle. It needs the other 3 done, and there's a couple other things we're going to do to it. It's always had carburetor issues. It's a bad design on that, and we're going to try to fix it somehow. So if that's something that interests you, hit the like button, subscribe, share, be prepared for the next video. It'll be coming soon. Thanks for watching.